Yeah, it's my first time. Let me make sure it's on. I think it's on. All right. Yeah, it looks like we're live. Let me send out the link real fast. Um, yes. All right. I guess we'll get started now. If it, all right, we're going to try out our debut live stream here with my good friend Lewis, talking all things Dollywood, wrapping up the 23 season, and probably more excitingly looking forward to the 2024 season and what's to come. Lewis, we'll start off. Just introduce yourself, plug anything, any opening thoughts.
Well, my first thought was I thought we were starting at 7. Yeah, I'm Lewis. Blog ignoranceinTime.com. I have a blog. So yearly we're going to start the blog. As usual. Let's see. Instagram, Pigments in Time. We do kind of cross platform stuff. And then Dollywood PA on Twitter, where I post daily pictures of Dollywood. And that was Disney.
All right. Yeah. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying. All right. All right. We'll go ahead and get started with it. Looking back, what were your highlights of the 23 season?
I think going back, I had I went the first weekend. I went the 9th and the 10th, I think it was this year. And I went to the opening day and the day after. Saw Dolly sing, which is always cool. Saw Dolly talk and announcing Big Bear. In May, I had shoulder surgery, so I was away from the park for at least 3 months, 2 or 3 months, before I went back into the course. And that day was just a really good feeling to be back in the park. I can't ride Big Bear Mountain, and I didn't go to the Big Bear Mountain opening thing either. So that wasn't really that big for me. Seeing it's nice. But
so you hoping to get on there this year, or?
I'm hoping to, but it'll be a while. It's a pretty tight fit. When I say usually if I can tell if it's a close fit or a not so close fit. Of course, they don't have a tester seat. Really
I was kind of surprised that they didn't have a tester seat.
They promised there was going to be one.
And one reason why I wanted to bring Lewis on is that I feel like he's kind of like myself, and there's not really any topic of Dollywood that he can't talk about, or he has knowledge of everything Dollywood related, sort of like myself. So, I thought that was a good combination. But yeah, that opening weekend was probably my highlight as well. It was actually, of all my years going to Dollywood, it was actually the first time I think I've actually seen Dolly at the park.
Really?
And I don't really know why. I guess when I was younger, I just didn't really, care about that kind of stuff. But, and then I ended up seeing her, I think was that when, no, okay, yeah. I think then there was the Big Bear opening the next month or two after that. So I think I'm getting those two confused a little bit. Because it was the Big Bear opening when she did the surprise performance, I think.
Yes. I saw that one on video. I watched it.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be there in person when she did that with the Natalie Grant. No, that was opening weekend when Natalie Grant.
That was opening weekend. I saw that too, and that was good. That was special.
Yeah, so I think that overall that was my highlight because she was singing live that performance. And
Are
then
we admitting that in open court here?
Yeah, so
Because yeah, I got a content warning on my video, and so it's pretty clear.
yeah, I think I got that same. I think you had mentioned that to me, and then when I uploaded mine, I had the same content claim.
I don't blame them, but it just feels weird. And we don't know whether she was singing live or parts of it. I mean, it's like, she does a lot.
Yeah.
All over the place now too. That's the thing I've been finding the most interesting about Dolly of late. When I was an insider 2 years ago, and I didn't even know Dolly came to the parks. I knew she did country music and picture a ridiculous number of pictures of albums she's done over in the Dreammore. But you didn't really hear about her that much. She did the thing with the fire. She donated stuff, and I was like, wow, this is great Dolly. She is everywhere now. Saying at the halftime of the Dallas Cowboys Thanksgiving show. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it seems like she's more popular now and more everywhere now than she was 10, 20 years ago.
I think so.
What were some of your other kind of things that stick out? Because I know you didn't get to go as much this year as you would have liked, or you usually do.
It's been a weird year for me. I mean, I've been pretty much every month. Well, I've been every season, and I really like some of the things they did. Obviously, with the festivals, there's a lot of festivals now, small festivals, which is fun for the attendee who comes to Dollywood quite often. It's terrible for the photographer who's trying to get a picture of it. It's always something new in the shot that tells you when you shot it. But I really like the summer festival, maybe a little less than last year. I really liked the fall festival, the harvest festival. They have all the pumpkins, and one of the things that I think is really great that they've done, and pretty much doing consistently now, is having something down Main Street. And in autumn it was leaves hanging from the sky, the umbrella sky, the kite sky, the sequin sky, which will be back this year, most likely.
Yeah, that area there from the kite area and then on up to the right before you get to the skillet area, it seems like there's always something going on there now, which there wasn't last year.
And I really like that in Christmas they just have some wreaths across so the sun comes through. It's really cold in Hollywood sometimes.
Yeah, and it makes sense because I know there's a lot of people don't ever go back all the way to the other side of the park. I mean, like your elderly people and people like that.
Yeah, I agree. It's like two theme parks. It's kind of like when they have the Luminites. It's two festivals, right? They have the Luminites and they have the Harvest Festival, and they're really kind of different. Although they did bring the pumpkin cornucopia down they're like different. They're different festivals. They don't call it Halloween. They're not even open until Halloween. Which I thought that was interesting. I was at the last time they were open on Halloween. It's pretty busy. Can't really celebrate Halloween or hang out.
Did any of the festivals, like So was the fall festival your favorite of the ones, or 'cause they were all like my one kind of critique was that not a whole lot changed from the festivals this year. I
True.
mean, like there were some small things, but like overall, it was kind of the same things.
So do you like that? Do you like things to change quite a bit, or do you like things?
I don't. I kind of in the middle. Like I don't want like with Christmas, I don't want anything to change. Like I wanted the same shows, I want the same everything. But like with the summer festival, like I didn't like the summer festival as much just because it was the same exact thing. So like give me something new. Whereas like even the food was the same. Like not the exact same, but a lot of your food had 70% of the same options. So I like a little bit of change.
Like they didn't have hot chicken this
They
year
did not.
at any of the festivals. That because they actually did a good job. I actually talked to the chef. He walks around a lot. You see a guy wearing a white coat, not looking like he's doing from the insane asylum. It's a chef check and a nice white chef check. He's checking out the things that are going on. And I told him this is the best hot chicken I'd had outside of Nashville.
But it wasn't really like hot, right? Like Nashville hot really is, but from what I remember.
There's a flavor, like Nashville hot chicken. Hot is a big part of it, but there's a flavor that goes along. It's kind of sweet and kind of cayenne, and kind of some molasses in there. And various places do it differently. But there's a place called Princess. And that's the place that's the best.
That's the original place, right?
Yes. That's a crazy story. I love that story.
Yeah, I think that Princess Chicken is now in that little. They got a downtown location now, I believe.
They have a downtown location, and if you go to Nashville and you're headed up 24, they now have a location in the outlet mall, which is very strange. Like they have a new Tanger outlet.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, there's a Princess Hot Chicken in there. I forgot about it when I was there last. I ended up eating it at Hattie B's, which now has a location in Franklin, in the factory. If you know anything about Franklin.
Yeah,
They're a lot.
Yeah, Hattie B's is usually the place that I eat at when I go there. I guess just because it's the more touristy option.
I tend to eat there more when I'm out of Nashville. Like they have a place in Birmingham, and they have a place in Atlanta. I haven't tried the Atlanta one.
I didn't realize they had a place in Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm a bit of an aficionado. I went back when there was just two of these places. Lori Morgan had a place called HotChickens.com, and we discovered it, and that was like the best place that we thought. And then when they closed, I found out there was a hot chicken restaurant across the street from where I work. And I went there, started going there. It was Princess, original. You stood in line for an hour. Food, you were mad, you were like tired. Come on, can we get our food? And then you got your food, and you're like, this was absolutely every second of the way. And it was so good. Did lard in frying pans like somebody's grandmother's grandmother used to do.
Well, I guess that's more into the next thing, but like any other thing with like the festivals that, like I felt like that was my one critique was that they just wasn't. I would have liked to see a little bit different. Like for example, the summer show next year. Like I don't need to see the Bubba show again. I'm good with that.
I would like to see maybe move to a smaller location. It's good. Technically, it's fantastic. Like the bubbles, the lasers, the effects, all fantastic. The stories are a little.
Yeah, there's like the Christmas the Christmas thing, which is in July, that throws you off.
It's not hokey in the way that well, the Dixie Stampede to me is a little hokey, but it's good. I would go back to it. It's not my favorite thing there. I haven't been to the other shows. I need to do that sometime. Maybe in February. I'll check out one of the shows.
I haven't been to that in a long time.
The Stampede's not. If I said Dixie Stampede, the Dolly Stampede.
I think everybody still calls it the Dixie Stampede.
Food is good. I mean, even if you didn't like the show, it's the food. But the hokiness of that Christmas thing, where you have the kids and just like, it just blows some bubbles.
Yeah, like I think like it felt it because it's a show geared toward kids, and it's what, a 45-minute show or something along those lines, and I think you could sure shorten that a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of harkens me back to the time when they had the acrobats at Dollywood. It kind of shows it just feel not like Dollywood. More, they feel like somewhere else. Like when you go see the Twas the Night Before Christmas show, or Christmas in the Smokies, or the 50s thing. I get the name wrong a lot. Dreamland Drive-In.
I always call it the doo-wop show.
The doo-wop show. And the shows in the streets and the music, they all feel like Dollywood. That just doesn't. This doesn't feel like the Dollywood vibe that they produce so hard.
That's true. Let's see. What were going the opposite direction, and one thing that I feel like in the people that talk about Dollywood, and even just the people that follow it on message board, it's like you either do nothing but complain about it, or you're afraid to say anything that is you're afraid to say anything like negative. And I want to try to be somewhere in the middle, like doing constructive criticism. And we do have somebody watching, but that's kind of cheating. That's my brother. So,
I
what were some of your lowlights of the 23 season?
Only thing I have sad for the season was that Thrills in the Hills, even though it had been on the calendar as for say they're coming soon, was actually not going to be happening because of the coaster con. And I just didn't have the energy or the time to go to coasters. And it was a lot more expensive and things. I just didn't feel like I didn't feel like I wanted to go with that. I'm not a coaster enthusiast in the same way like Thrilling Moments on Twitter is, where he knows who made it, when they made it, what version this is of some setup. I don't know any of that. All I know is that if I fit in a coaster, I get in it, I ride it. I know how it feels. I want to do it. And that's as much as I want to get involved in the coaster. In the deep technical coaster. So when I didn't get to do that, and it hurts even more because the year before we were supposed to do a hill walk, which was to walk to the top of the hill and thunderhead. And I was going to take so many pictures. I was just going to hold my camera on auto as I walked up the hill. And yeah, that bummed me out. But other than that, I have no complaints about what Dollywood did this year or is planning next year.
Yeah, I think if I had the few that I would have would be the one I just kind of touched on, is that the being the same exact thing. Like I would like to see a little more shake up of that, like just a little bit. But then the other one, which is not, it's probably a whole separate podcast, but like the tasting pass, like I'm starting to get a little foundered on the tasting pass. What are your thoughts on the tasting pass?
I mean, it's a pretty decent deal.
It's not so much the tasting pass. I feel like that's changed the quality of the food because they've already got your money.
I don't think that. I've always kind of thought their food wasn't. They weren't shooting for a quality that was special. It's kind of like a Disney food and wine festival. It's expensive. It's less. I mean, the Dollywood booth food is decently priced.
Yeah, it's a good price.
Very well priced. But it's not like at Disney. You get like maybe half as much, or a little bit about the same price. But it's just like this high quality thing they're trying to impress you with. Whereas I think Dollywood's a little bit more familiar with just combinations of things, like the potato tomato, things like that. It's not special.
Yeah. Lewis, is there something with your mic? Maybe you can adjust. My brother was saying you're cutting in and out a little bit. I don't know. I thought it would be me that was struggling to hear a little bit.
I mean, that's weird. If you can hear me, I don't know why.
I can hear you pretty decent, yeah. And I'm not even using a mic, so yours should be more better than mine, at least from the way it looks.
Oh yeah, wait, hold on, no problem. Since you can hear me, why fine.
No.
All right. Let's see. Testing 1, 2. Let me see.
Is that better? Now that I'm talking to the mic,
it sounds better for my end. Let me see what he says.
I don't know why sometimes it clicks back to the. Well, I guess my default mic is a headset I have.
Okay, yeah, I think it's coming through better. But let's see, I think we're talking about the. He says that's better now. I guess it's more not necessarily it's the food quality. I think more than the tasting pass itself, because overall, for $40-ish to get 5 food items without having to buy the drink is a great price. But I think maybe I'm still just having nightmares over that twisted potato dog that I got on opening weekend. But I feel
I remember that. That was really, they were not cooking it correctly. And I would have complained, but I was talking to somebody and I was like, I'll just eat this.
Yeah, because like there have been a couple things I've got that I've like kicked myself, like, why didn't I ask for a refund? Because it was that, like, not like a flavor issue. Like I got and I never even got around to posting it, but it was like the little waffle sandwich things, which I've got there several times, and it's waffle and Mayfield ice cream. It's not a whole lot to it, and throw some toppings on there. And like the waffle was so hard that like it had to have been like days old.
Actually, that's the way they're supposed to be. The Liege waffles, that's the way they are. And it's just a really pain, putting it as a sandwich, it's not a good idea. Because it's a good crispy cookie kind of thing, but it's definitely not. If you put it on the sandwich, your ice cream's going to scoot out both sides, and it's going to be a mess.
Okay. Yeah. So, but like, so I'm a little gun shy now to like get something like within like an hour of close. So I may come up after work tomorrow, and if I do, it's going to be like 7, 8 o'clock. So like an hour before close, and I'm like, ew. But then I've got 3 tasting passes to use, so it's kind of like a free meal. So, but
I know I've got 1 swipe left, and I'm like, am I coming up Saturday for that? I mean, I want to, but it's gonna rain. It's gonna be 40. So,
and my math was wrong. I was like, well, I can come Sunday as well, and it hit me that the Sunday was the 7th, not the 6th. So I guess I'm used to it closing. I'm used to it closing on the Sunday and not a Saturday.
Yeah, and I hope when the days switch back, they don't change that. Like, because that's what's happened. Next year's Wednesday, so I think they're closing
the 5th. I looked at it earlier today,
and that's really good because that's what that's probably Sunday, isn't it? No, the 5th is Sunday next year. I know. I'm hoping they'll eventually stay open year round and just warn you, if it's less than this degrees, we're not opening the rest of the park.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm not like, how do you, I guess, how would you, I'm anxious to see what the crowds will be like a Saturday, because it's historically closed, but it's open, but school is sort of back, but sort of not. It's the holidays is sort of over, but not officially over.
Yeah.
So it's like I can see it going. Like we know last week was jam packed to the walls. So so I'm anxious to see what direction do people go, just because it's the last day, or does the weather scare them off?
If I go, that's why I'm going. And I'll ride Tennessee Tornado once at least. No matter how cold it is and how wet it is, that's the tradition.
I know that's your ride, but that ride beats me up. I can't handle that.
I love it. I love every second of
it. I guess kind of transitioning into the what's to come. Well, before the season pass overall, like, what were you expecting from the season pass, and was you pleased with what they offered? In
what respect? Like, do you mean from the bins?
Yeah, I mean, like the 24 season pass. Were you pleased with like the perks that came with it, the price?
Oh, you mean for next year?
Yeah.
So I came prepared for this one. Although let's answer that question so that's gone.
It says we went last year on closing day, and it was a zoo. We waited 45 minutes to ride the shooting star.
Yeah, I remember it being busy last year.
Yeah, and like so, it's. I'm kind of thinking it's not going to be that crowded, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe all the people in the Knoxville area are just going to come up, because I don't think they're going to be home watching the Falcons.
Last year they closed like on the 1st or something, right?
I think it was actually New Year's Day.
Yeah, and I was there, and I hated that. I hate that. I hate it when they do the football playoffs on New Year's Eve and things. Or I like it when I can. That's a holiday. But right. Yeah, I went up, and I didn't. I left because it was cold. It was a zoo. I was tired. I had traveled way too much last December. But I at least got in one good ride on Tennessee Tornado, so I saved that.
But yeah, I mean, I think, like, do you think they will close? Like, is it going to be so cold they close rides down Saturday?
Probably not. It's supposed to be like in the mid 30s, 40 all day. So most of the rides can operate, but there's also an 80% chance of rain. And I don't know about you. I don't know how old you are. But since I was 11 or 12, riding roller coasters in the rain, being outside in the rain, in a car with no windows, in the 40s.
That's not high on my list.
Getting 70-mile-an-hour rain in your face it's a lot.
Yeah, and I know those holiday days. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what the but yeah, to me, 45 minutes to ride any ride is not on my list of things to do, especially in the 40s.
I've done it, and it's cold. And they do not have the equipment to make it not cold.
Hats
and jackets, but
yeah.
All right,
but
so
look-
next year, I brought 2 props. One,
All right.
the cinnamon bread. That was the best. The more I think about it, how great that promotion to get you to re-up your diamond pass was.
Right.
I mean, it's going to cost. I mean, it's like $100 worth of cinnamon bread, right? So it's not a cheap thing they added, and they didn't raise the price for it. They also added. Well, let's finish that. Cinnamon bread is the greatest theme park snack ever, because you don't buy, even at Dollywood, you don't buy something that's like this big for $9 or $10. I don't know how much it is now, but
is it like $12 range or something like
so.
that? By the time you add in the extra sauce and
yeah, if you're
and the tax so it's like $12, $13 range. So like you said, even if you do it 3-4 times, that's easily a $50 thing.
As long as they don't screw up the bread to make more, and that's a concern, right? You don't want to mess up the bread, because they've done something to it where it's not quite the same as it used to be. But nothing's ever the same as it used to be, right? I mean, that's a given,
right?
But I like it when it's just right out of that machine, right out of the cooker. It's a little gooey.
Yeah, that's a great perk. I know I was dead wrong, and I'm glad I am. Like, I was expecting a major price increase to the season pass, and I was kind of hoping for that, honestly, just to help with some of the crowd control. And they had did the restrictions to the silver the year before, so I was sitting around waiting. Okay, what is I think they dropped the discount 5% the previous year. So I was kind of waiting around. Okay, what's the big negative thing that's going to happen? And the only things that were negative, they ended up fixing with, I forget what were they like.
The discounts weren't listed on the website.
Yeah, that's what.
So we all panicked.
Yeah.
I will say, cinnamon bread is not worth a 20% discount. So you can easily make that back just in a meal. That's like $4 off a meal.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, it's basically, without going through all the numbers, which I don't even have handy, it's basically the same price as it was the previous year and the Bring a Friend passes are they the same as last year? I think they were the same. Yeah.
Same for.
Yeah. And then the big one is, I think I saw you holding it, was the cup.
So yes, I put my coffee in for tonight in the cup. This is a fantastic perk, because I know this cup looks smaller, but it holds more liquid in a better way than the other cup. It's not dishwasher safe. That's really its own problem, and you don't want to you want to be careful with that too, because if you wash off this, you have a black cup, and then you can argue with the cast member, the host. It's really up, man.
You do need a straw with it, so bring your own straw.
Yeah, I'm not a straw person.
But yeah, I mean, I was shocked, and like, you actually get more days they're open more days this year.
Yep.
Which I know that was kind of its own sort of not controversy, but like own speculation with that. So overall, I can't believe that they didn't do something more negative. Like, they did nothing. I guess they must be making so much money, they don't want to mess with it.
I mean, they've been doing the same thing every year. If you re-up early, you get the price it was last year. And then they raise it a couple, $10, $20 or something later. And then next year you'll get the $20 price if you re-up. And then adding the diamond level and the diamond perks was a really good idea, because I would not have bought gold with water park access, but diamond only comes with water park access. So a perk I have not used the 2 years I've been a diamond member First year I was given a diamond as the insider. The next year I bought diamond again, and so that's why I have the terminal. And I still haven't been to the water park. That's on my list.
We did that last year. We did that last year. It was fun. We went on a busy day, so we didn't really get to ride the big ones. But you know, it's a good, like, if you're staying like the night, a good Sunday thing, because it's probably not going to take all day. So it's good to like go to Dollywood Saturday, go to the hotel, and then get up Sunday and spend half a day or 3/4 of a day and head on back at 3 o'clock or something like that.
I just have never quite got to do it. I've had too many injuries and things like that just wouldn't let me get in the water or slide down a slide.
Yeah, like there's a little like lazy river thing, and there's some laying out areas. So let's see, we went there twice last year, and our 4-year-old loved it. Yeah, it was, and that was one of the reasons why he got the Diamond Pass. Was, you know, his kid still gets in for free, and he bought one Diamond Pass, got his wife the 4 visits for that. His 4-year-old got in for free, and I had extra bring a friend passes if she needed more. So for $300, he's covered for 3 people in Dollywood all year, and that's a steal. But yeah, like your kids are going to love it. The small kids are going to love it. But even if you don't do the water park, just the cinnamon bread in the cup and the extra 5% is, I think it's worth the $100.
The golden events too, the slightly better access to golden events. You know, they get the better seats. The diamond seating that I actually had registered for got better seats than I did for the media event last year. So
yeah, but yeah, but the water park does feel like a little bit like a kind of not a waste, but like it's only open 4 or 5 months. They did extend it a week this year, like even past what was on the schedule as.
See, that's got to be tough because, you know, you got to have a lot of people paying tickets extra to extend, right? So that was pretty good, pretty nice move because pass holders could then go as well, right?
Right. Yeah. Looking. And though the other thing is that the frozen drinks are included with that cup, and that was like I think I may get my $300 worth of pina colada frozen drinks with that cup.
Hot coffee, hot chocolate. Yeah, I've already imbibed with the hot chocolate.
The hot chocolate, I don't know if it was just I was so cold, but it tasted good.
I did not have any complaints with the hot chocolate.
Yeah. Looking ahead to 2024, what are you thinking? I know that's probably its own live stream or two, but like big picture, what are your thoughts for 24?
So just like Wild Eagle and all the others, I can't ride it, but I'm really interested to see what people say about Lightning Rod, and if Lightning Rod is finally turned into what am I looking for here? A reliable coaster, right? It's always had a checkered past. The first year I was there on opening day when we thought it was going to open, along with a lot of other coaster people that were there that day. I could tell. And of course it didn't open. And then I was there again. And it you know, you remember that.
Right.
And when, what's his name? The guy who's not the president, but
Pete Owens.
When he was making jokes about how about that coaster in the presentation he was doing for us with the mining, at the Mystery Mine ride during the Thrills of the Hills in 2022, you know, you can tell. us making fun of things is one thing. When they make fun of it themselves, it's a real hullabaloo. So closing this thing down in October and redoing it again for the second thing they've done to it, affecting a major change.
They just did that a couple of years ago, right? Or they did something to it.
They turned it to a hybrid. It used to be classified a wooden coaster. Then they made it a hybrid coaster, a launched hybrid coaster. Now they're making it into a regular coaster.
Okay. And sort of off topic, but one of the things that I like Pete Owens more now that I saw him complaining about football officials online, and I don't know why that just made me like him more. I mean, and I've liked him. I don't know him, but for some reason, like he's a Kansas fan, so complaining about officials made me like him more.
I mean, I'm not like buddies with him, but I've seen him present some things, and I've talked to him a couple times. He's a really interesting person. He's the kind of person you like having in your company, and that's the person that loves the product for the product. Like some people, I feel like Eugene, I don't know if he was a big coaster fan or if he's a big, logistics fan.
He seems like more of the logistics money side of things.
Because he got really excited when he was talking about the parking changes they did a couple of years ago. And he wasn't wrong. I mean, sometimes parking does go slow because they only have a number of people and they don't expect it. But I went there one day when the place was packed and there was no cars in the parking lot or in the drive thing because they were all, people were just going through at the speed you're supposed to go through. Then those people are like, I'm supposed to have parking. No, you don't have parking. Let me explain this to you. Are you sure? And, that's the people you pick when you get behind. And he was really excited about how they were doing that. He was talking numbers and things like that. And I feel like he's that side of it, the operation side. Wow. And Pete has this I love coasters. Let me tell you how the coaster works, and let me tell you the tolerances on the coasters, and how a wooden coaster shifts during the day and based on the heat, because the wood expands and contracts a lot more than metal does, but metal does the same thing. And there's really a bunch of cool stuff like that. Like I said, kind of outside of my desired expertise level. If I'd finished my mechanical engineering degree, by the way, I would definitely.
Well, you got me beat on that.
Oh, I did not. I changed to something else because I was not that smart at math.
But I'm guessing the big thing is going to be the Dolly Museum, which this took 2 years, if my math is correct, to build. Which I still don't exactly know what is changing, even though I was there at the press conference when they announced it. I still haven't quite figured out what is.
They haven't said. I don't think they've even given any ideas. I mean, I feel like it's going to be pretty high tech. And still Dollywood, right?
Yeah, and I know the thing she had in Nashville somewhere, where she had some of her artifacts in Nashville, is no longer open, from what I saw. So my thought was they might just move those to the new one. But I know that sounds like that's going to be the big sales pitch for next year, which, I mean, that really doesn't do too much to excite me. I mean,
it depends. I agree. It's not a thrill ride. There's no doubt about that. But did you go to the butterfly thing they did 2 years ago during the summer festival inside? It had an interactive butterfly thing. You could touch the screen.
I think I saw it. I think I saw videos of it. I don't think I actually did it myself.
That was pretty cool. And if you took that kind of complete digital interactiveness and kind of expanded it out, had more holograms of Dolly and history, and I think you could have a pretty fun experience. I don't know how you can make it super repeatable.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if I go in when it opens, I go back in summertime, I'm probably not going to want to see it again unless I'm with somebody that wasn't with me then. But
we'll see. I mean, I don't know if you had seen the news on the the garden thing they have at Epcot, the Moana's Journey of Water, where there's water dancing and things. I mean, it's the kind of thing that it's kind of like that. It's kind of fun stuff. You can stick your hand in the water and it stops, and you can put your hand in some other place and then waves will come up. It's the kind of thing you can play with some when you have nothing else to do, or you're waiting for something, or you're, just hanging around.
It is indoors, so that is a plus. It does give you something to do indoors when it rains.
Yeah.
Outside.
Who knows what they're doing with the Dolly shop across the street? If it's still going to be a store, or if it's going to be something.
That was the one that on the little artwork that came out that was so colorful. I think the pink, whatever. But yeah, I mean,
I'm sort of amazed they didn't make it into a. Have you been on the Haunted Mansion?
Probably a long time ago.
Let's see, Spaceship Earth, any of those kind of rides where you're a slow moving craft, you get in a craft that takes you around. I'm sort of amazed they didn't do that. Like have a ride where you rode through Dolly's life.
Well, there were some rumors of speculation that's what it was going to be, but I don't guess that's happened.
3D and hologram, that would be kind of fun.
Yeah, be kind of like or do you think there will be any roller coasters that they remove?
I doubt it. I mean, what would you get rid of?
The only things you got the obvious one that nobody wants to touch, Blazing Fury, or at least I don't want it to touch. But that comes up because obviously the Branson thing.
Okay, that's true, and I agreed. Would not want to touch that.
I
mean, I assume that's a very likelihood. If the Branson thing works out really well, it was the same ride essentially. I mean, I think from what I saw from the videos, it was different inside, but it had different scenes and things. But no, I
don't think they need to touch that. But the other area that I could see some possible changes is the Owens Farm area up there, where the little, what is that? The little ship or whatever swinging back and forth thing.
Sidewinder?
Yeah, I can that's the least visited area of the park, it seems. And the other ride that's been there a long time is the other like log water ride. I can't remember the name of it. The second water ride, the one on the hill.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's kind of thing though. If you pretty much, you're not gaining space by knocking that down. You're just losing something. And
I more see them adding than subtracting.
Yeah, so it's not like if you change that, you're gonna be able to turn into anything.
Yeah, I think,
but they're so long. I think you have to look at the old rides to see what could possibly be changed.
But wasn't there like the mountain slide winder or slide something up there? I never been able to find where it is. Strangely enough,
I think it was.
It's supposedly right up by the.
I was young then, so I can't quite remember where it was. I think it was. I was thinking it could have been in the area.
But I more see them filling out that field where the train is. I more see them filling that out. I wish they would do something a little more with the train. I mean, I like riding the train, but now that they've kind of built that out and cut everything down, it's just a train ride. It's not a see something Dollywood train ride.
Barnstormer.
But I don't know what I'm talking
about. But yeah, like that's the one area that I just like. I don't really like that ride because it just like the back and forth swinging ride. It doesn't do it for me. But that is a good area if you need to go to the bathroom. That's the area to go to.
And if you want to get cinnamon bread when it's open, there's an upstairs version too. So,
But do you see any big changes like around the park, like stuff they tear down or entrances or anything like that?
Yes. And if it's happening this year, I will not be shocked. And that is the area where the marketplace is. That area is a mess for like multiple reasons.
I'm guessing you're going to say like the congestion of it.
I mean, you have everybody funneled through a food place. You have the fountain thing in the summer that sprays water that goes down into there. If they took that and just opened it up and put the shops along the outside without covering up the lake too much, it'll be so much nicer.
Yeah, that would allow you more walkway, which is kind of goes along with what they've done in the past. They've like since COVID, they did stuff that allows you more room to walk, and as the park gets more crowded.
That was a shocker too when they did that year, and they got rid of the Eagle shop up there. All that stuff they got rid of was it was pretty wild. But you can't get rid of the marketplace. I mean, if there's anything that feels old school in a good way.
Yeah,
it just needs to be slightly out of the way.
Probably push it back, like you said, just push it off to the side where they kind of have those festival type booths at.
And the barbecue place up on the hill, they made it a lot more high tech. It's not as pretty in some respects, the way it's kind of there's no cover, but they serve a lot more food there now. And those barbecue potato fried fries are excellent.
I've had good luck with the festival options at the barbecue place. That's probably been my favorite. My favorite place has been there.
Oh man, the wing they had that you could get was spectacular.
I know there've been some rumors that they would connect the Wildwood Grove area to make it where you can walk through it. I don't quite know the logistics of that off the top of my head, but I know there've been some people say that.
I don't see how it would work because they didn't leave space between Dragonflyer and the train. I do see one way they could really improve the park like that, and that is to put an entrance up there. Get rid of the entrance down lower, and you come in when you're a park guest or whatever inside there. And that's probably not what they're going to do because that would get you away from where you spend money and then do the most things, and it would be very bad for mobility. But that's kind of like I would love to see a backdoor entrance
or just an exit or something.
Yeah,
if there was parking over there.
Oh yeah, because it's right up against the parking. They could have an exit right there, and that would be a spectacular benefit.
Right.
For the people who have preferred parking or park from a hotel. Sometimes I have a problem going. Oh, and that's an even better thing because sometimes when I'm tired, I'm like, do I really want to go to the fireworks? Do I really want to go up to the party? And I might not. I always do, but if I'm a normal person, I might not. But now I can just leave right when the show's over and cruise on into my parking lot right there. That makes the preferred parking lot actually preferred. Very preferred. As opposed to
it feels like there's some parking improvements they could find a way to do.
For sure. And that's just geographically a problem.
Yeah.
You know what would be a great idea is take that A lot and make it into a parking garage. Maybe the B lot too. 2, 3, 4 stories high.
Yeah. Or maybe just
very pretty.
Or maybe just allow you to park in the B parking lot.
They do, unfortunately, later in the day. That's really annoying when if you need the handicap spot.
Yeah.
It's really annoying because the weird part about needing handicap stuff is you need to not stand as much or you need to not walk as much. If you don't have a device, you can't really get into the handicap spot at the buses and say I'm skipping the line from all these people because it's awkward, right? The whole thing's extremely awkward. There's no pass I've got. There's no thing that says like when you're in the rides, you can get past because I can't do all those stairs with my hips and knees and things. But
Right.
parking is it gets tough when the lines are 4 and 5 trams long.
Yeah.
Just not fun.
They might even need more handicap area parking. I don't know, but like
they increased it last year. There's a ton more, and it doesn't fill up nearly as fast. Just on those really busy days if you come late.
Looks like we got a new person watching, so shout out to whoever the new person watching is. Let us know if you have any questions, and I just scared them away. Let's see. That's probably another. Any other thing about 24 since we're 56 minutes into this?
Not really. I mean, I expect us to get a big announcement sometime because they have the big plan. I don't think it'll be another hotel unless it's another hotel and something.
No.
I haven't been to the new hotel yet. I'm hoping to do that in February.
It's like the Dreammore. You're a fan of the Dreammore, or?
Yes.
Because I'm not really. It didn't. I don't think it's worth the extra money from what I.
Okay, you didn't ask me if I thought it was a good value. It's a great value in the off season. So go. It's a great place to go, spend some time, relax, sit in front of the fire.
I like the free Cokes. Oh, I like being able to use your cup for the Coke.
You can take this cup with you now too. And go up and just hang out. I honestly, sometime in February, I'm going to go up for the day, leave in the morning, come back at night probably, if we can't work out another time. And I'll just sit in the lobby part of the time. Maybe go to one of those concerts they have.
Yeah.
Is it a great value? Depends. I mean, if you start looking at the prices of other hotels, and then you also calculate things like time savers, even just a 6. I think they'd probably just give you the 6 ride time saver. But even at 6 bonus rides, that's a pretty decent value for a family of 3 or 4.
And
to get into the real money.
And sometimes they don't scan Sometimes they don't scan that like they're supposed to.
Yeah, they're really kind about that. I will say that.
Yeah.
If it's not busy, they'll go, you don't need to waste a.
Right. But yeah, speaking of the Winter Concert Series, that's something you did last year, and me being the concert fan that I am, I've not done that yet. I'm hoping to get there this year. I'll run down the list of the names real fast. You've got January. These are for 2 days. I'll just say the first day. These are all country music names. January the 12th, Bailey and the Boys, who had a hit back in the 80s. T.G. Shepherd, January the 19th. Ronnie McDowell, January the 26th. Aaron Tippin, the weekend of February the 2nd. Brian White, February the 9th weekend. My personal favorite of the group, T. Graham Brown, February the 16th. And Linda Davis, February the 23rd. And these cost, you don't have to stay at the hotel from what I understand, and they cost either $15 or $20, depending on if you have a season pass. And I believe you went last year, correct?
It's a heck of a deal. It's a very small venue. It's a really nice little area. I will probably try to go back again if I go on a weekend.
Yeah, and it's about how many people is it roughly? And where do they have it in the Dreammore?
They put a tent out back.
Okay, and I assume they
It's
got
a tent, nicely dressed, and
there's what, like 100 people or something like that.
I'd say 50, maybe 100.
So they would have to be losing money off that.
Probably more like 50.
Because that would only be.
It's not a lot.
Yeah, because I mean that's only like that's basically they're just doing that for free, basically.
Even at 100 people, that's only $1,500.
Yeah, so those artists make more than that. So like, yeah, I know. Yeah, so and that gives you incentives to stay there too, because I'm looking to go this off season just to kind of a relaxing weekend up there without the traffic and crowd. So I'm hoping to do that, but I don't know if I will. I got a cruise that will take up 2 of those weekends in February.
It's a really nice place to visit in February. Just a really casual. It turns into a casual resort. There'll be some families, there'll be some things, but last year, like I said, when I went up, I took my computer, I sat in the area by the fireplace and worked and went to the concert, came home. It was a great day.
And if you're a fan of Elvis, Ronnie McDowell would be a good one to go to because he tells some stories, and Elvis sung one of his songs, and he's more of a variety type show. So if you're not a country music fan, he would probably be the one to go to because he's more of a comedy variety type show than it is a music one.
That's the way the one I went to was.
I think you saw Jeannie Seeley, if I remember correctly.
They were telling stories and just goofing off. It was great. Got a little bawdy at times, so it was.
Well, what all you got? Anything you want to talk about? I'm not in no hurry, but I don't know if you are or not.
Man, I got to go in a little bit. I got some things to do, but no, I hopefully will be there opening weekend. It's a conference I want to go to in Nashville the 9th. I found out today, so that's good. But I really want to be there opening day, see what happens, and hear the new announcements and stuff.
What do you project them to do on opening day? Cause last year they had Dolly there and that whole, and now is the opening day the actual? I guess it is the official kickoff of the festival. The Always Love You festival.
Yeah.
Do you think there'll be any changes to?
Well, it's not gonna have the 50s everywhere. It'll be a little bit different, but it won't be much different. That was a pretty mild festival to start with.
Yeah,
there was more Dolly music playing.
There's
country music, but it's music related, right?
There's a group called 3 Times a Lady, I believe they're called. They're going to be there throughout that for like the month of March and April, like throughout that celebration. They're going to be there. I'm not sure where they'll be at. My guess is the Pines Theater. So but then I think they're doing the songwriting thing as well, based off some things I saw on bands in town. So I don't know.
I expect that.
Yeah, but they may have that 3 Times a Lady group outside or something like that. Yeah, I mean, like anytime Dolly is there, I think you need to see that, even if you're not like the biggest Dolly fan. You never know when you're going to get that chance again, and it's going to almost shoot the entire day because it's a long process. Because you got to get there a couple hours early and that kind of stuff. So,
if you're a Gold or Diamond member, be watching for the announcement and get your pass for the Golden event.
Oh, have you heard anything about when you're actually going to get your Bring a Friend passes?
When the season opens.
Okay, I know because they didn't actually come. I think they're adding more technology, maybe, or something like that. You've cheated.
Man, I hope they stop letting people just use anybody's Bring a Friend pass, because that would cut down on like 90% of the internet traffic in this world. I know
Yeah,
it's cool. I know it's nice being able to bring unlimited numbers of people as friends, but
yeah, like that was one of the things that I expected that I was wrong on. I figured them to just do away with the bring a friend passes.
I did too.
Like it creates so much confusion, and at least like it actually doesn't really if you're like the diamond or gold. It's the silver ones which causes the confusion. If they just did away with the silver, the gold and diamond are pretty easy. Hey, you get two to four passes, use them whenever you want to, however you want to. But it's the silver which okay, you can't use this, you can this, and I really don't. The business side of me doesn't really realize why I get to bring somebody for free. Like, and I need to make a video on it, but I made money with my Dollywood pass last year because as a single guy, I split the hotel room. I'll go to my cousin or dad and say, "Hey, you want to go to Pigeon Forge for the weekend? I'll give you $100 value for my pass. We'll split the hotel room. He's out $100 a night for a hotel room, and gets to go to Dollywood. And I save $300.
I'm glad you explained how you made the money on the passes.
Yeah, I mean it's really a
let that one go.
yeah. I mean I'm not selling my bring a friend passes or anything like that.
I sold my bring a friend pass for $200.
Yeah, I had somebody today ask me, "Hey, you got any extra passes?" I was like, "No."
That's a question everybody asks all the time.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm not a Facebooker. Well, it was fun. We've been an hour. I'll let you off. We'll probably like to do. We'll try to now that I think we got the bugs worked out. We'll have to bring in some other people and plan it. I'd like to do one. I've been thinking of like Dollywood controversial questions and topics. There's a couple that I think I've got that would be fun to go about that, and I'm sure next time we can find another person or two to join us.
Theme park controversies. Huh? That's
yeah, like there's yeah, I mean there's a lot of Dollywood things that I think you could ask. Is it going to change or go away? That would make for fun topics to talk about. And we'll be there this weekend. I will be there this weekend, so for sure. So if you happen to be there and want to say hello, hit us up or hit me up.
if I wasn't headed south on Sunday, I would absolutely be there. I'm 50-50 right now.
All right. We'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and sign off. Thanks for joining us, and it was fun. We'll do it again.
Excellent.
All right, we'll see you. All right.
If you
I don't know if I know how to.
once you stop the live, that didn't help.